Good afternoon, everyone. My hair look okay?
Oh, yes. Hello, Mr. Medenbach. Why are you impersonating President Trump?
Nobody's going to listen to Ken Medenbach, but everybody will listen to President Trump.
Okay, Mr. President, tell us about January 6th Capitol protest.
On September 29, 2020, while debating with Sleepy Joe Biden, I called for the Proud Boys militia to stand back and stand by. On January 6, 2021, I called for the Oath Keepers militia, the Proud Boys militia, the Three Percenters militia, and others to fight like hell. If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Does the Constitution give you this authority to call out the militia?
Yes, it does. Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 of the United States Constitution, it states, the President shall be Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy of the United States and of the militia of the several states when called into actual service of the United States. I called the Oath Keepers militia, the Proud Boys militia, the Three Percenters militia, and others into actual service of the United States to stop the steal. I'm not the first president to call out the militia. In 1794, the Whiskey Rebellion in western Pennsylvania became a violent tax protest when Congress legislated an excise tax on whiskey. The farmers in western Pennsylvania raised up a 7,000-man militia to secede from the Union. Commander-in-Chief President Washington organized a 13,000-man militia and marched into western Pennsylvania to stop the Whiskey Rebellion. Then in 1861, at the start of the American Civil War, the Commander-in-Chief, President Lincoln, called for a 75,000-man militia to serve for 3 months following the bombardment and surrender of Fort Sumter.
Do you believe this is enough evidence to justify the January 6th Capitol protest?
Yes, I do. The Commander-in-Chief, President Washington, called out the militia in 1794, just like I did as Commander-in-Chief on January 6, 2021. Then Commander-in-Chief President Lincoln called out the militia in 1861, just like I did as Commander-in-Chief on January 6, 2021. The reasoning behind the call out to the present-day militia is no different than the two previous militia call-outs by Commander-in-Chief President Washington and Commander-in-Chief President Lincoln. Then to add to the evidence to justify the January 6th Capitol protest is the unconstitutional Supreme Court reasoning behind Texas versus Pennsylvania. The United States Supreme Court stated Texas lacked Article 3 standing to sue other states over how they conduct their elections. The problem here is Article 3 says nothing about standing. The corrupt United States Supreme Court neither has the power to alter the Constitution nor the power to interpret the Constitution. The corrupt United States Supreme Court has altered the Constitution in Fairchild versus Hughes in 1922. Prior to 1922, anybody could litigate public rights. Article 5 of the Constitution describes the process to alter the Constitution. The Supreme Court cannot alter the Constitution, nor is it delegated the power to interpret the Constitution pursuant to the 10th Amendment.
Can you explain how the U.S. Supreme Court got the power to interpret the United States Constitution?
Well, that gets pretty involved. We can discuss that at another time.
Well, what do you think should happen to the January 6th Capitol protesters?
The Proud Boys militia, the Oath Keepers militia, the Three Percenters militia, and others should be treated no different than the militias in 1794 and 1861, where militias did what they were told to do by the Commander-in-Chief. The Western Pennsylvania local militia were mostly not charged, except for a few who were later pardoned by the President Washington. As of December 17, 2021, 227 Capitol protesters have been charged. 151 have pleaded guilty. Of those going to trial, those defendants need to hear this requirement. A culpable state of mind is a basic requirement of virtually all crimes. If you are taking orders from the Commander-in-Chief to stop the steal, you are not guilty of anything. In 2016, an armed group of patriots occupied the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge in eastern Oregon by adverse possession. 27 patriots were charged with conspiracy to impede federal officers from doing their job, and one was charged with stealing a government pickup truck. In the first trial, all 7 were found not guilty of the conspiracy, and the one was found not guilty of stealing the pickup truck, because they all believed in the doctrine of adverse possession. This was their culpable state of mind. Hope this information is helpful and makes its way to the defendants going on trial in Washington, D.C. next year. Thank you.